So, it is my distinct honor to introduce a leader who truly needs no introduction, Governor Henry McMaster. For decades, Governor McMaster has exemplified the very best of South Carolina. A statesman grounded in integrity, fortitude, and an unwavering belief in our state's potential. His legacy is one of bold, principled leadership, rooted in the conviction that South Carolina can be both a powerhouse for commerce and a guardian for our extraordinary natural resources. The governor has long recognized what the nation is now embracing, that nuclear energy is essential to America's future, and that South Carolina is uniquely positioned to lead it. His belief in our workforce, our communities, our innovation ecosystem, and our role in strengthening America's energy and national security landscape has been the foundation of the momentum we are celebrating here today. Governor McMaster is a true South Carolinian in every sense of the word, steadfast, visionary, and guided by a deep love for this state and its people. So please join me in welcoming the governor of the great state of South Carolina.
I love it. I want some more. I tried so hard. I can't.
That's a great philosopher there, Tim McGraw. Y'all probably all know him very well. Ethel, thank you for that very generous introduction. I want to say welcome to South Carolina. This is a unique place, as you may know, but the main thing about South Carolina that attracts people here is the people. And as governor, I've had the opportunity over a lot of years to speak to people from around the world who are looking for a place to invest millions, even billions of dollars. And a lot of them are coming here, and they're going to keep on coming here. And I ask them, is it the tax situation we have, the way we treat the taxes? Is it our very aggressive legislature, which knows that South Carolina's business is business? What is it? Is it the natural amenities we have? I met a tree the other day in the Bottle of Forest, which is down towards, in Dorchester County, down south, towards Charleston. It's over 1,800 years old. It's standing in the oldest old-growth, untouched forest in the world. There are things about South Carolina that are unique, because they're all here in one place. But the most unique thing is the people. And y'all just saw three of them just a moment ago with Rick Lee, Tom Davis, and Dave Wright. We are proud of our people, and one reason that we are succeeding now against odds that we've faced over a lot of years is because of our people. So I want to welcome you to this wonderful place and let you know that one of our secrets is, by the way, Ethel Bunch makes up, I just noticed coming in, there's not much girl power out here in the audience, but there sure is some in standing in the shoes of Ethel Bunch. If you need to get something done, that's a good place to go. But the reason we have triumphed in so many areas, and one was during the pandemic, is because South Carolina's business is business. We know that, and we have common sense. And we knew, and we know now, that we could not just close down everything, number one, because there's some serious doubt as whether it's even necessary. But whether it was or not, it's not a constitutional action that a government can take. Because if you close somebody's business, you're taking their property, and you cannot take someone's property without due process. That's what the Constitution says. That is why we had the lightest, shortest touch of any sort of restriction of any state east of the Mississippi. And we're going to keep using our common sense. And a little story for you. Some of you may have heard it. If you have, be sure to laugh anyway. But it's a story about a fella coming down from the big city, a real slick guy, coming down his New Year's Eve, going to his old friends, his old buddies' New Year's Eve party way out in the woods outside of a little small town. It was dark. It was black dark. It was raining. It was foggy. The roads were wet. He didn't know where he was going. He was creeping through the small areas out there. The little small town was somewhere nearby. I couldn't see a thing. Bam! Didn't see the stop sign. Went right through it. Crawled out of his slick limousine. Looked over. There was a pickup truck. Farmer was crawling out of the pickup truck. City slicker runs over, says, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault." Farmer said, "I'm not saying it is." He said, "Well, I'm not hurt. You're not hurt, are you?" He says, "No, I'm okay." City slicker said, "Well, it's late. It's dark. The car's messed up. I'm not going to make it to the New Year's Eve party. I got a bottle of liquor in the trunk. Why don't we just take a toast to our good health?" Farmer said, "Okay." So the city slicker pulled out the bottle, glub, 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 put it down. Says, "Your turn." Farmer says, "I think I'll wait till after the police get here." It's just common sense. As these gentlemen have said, and as we'll be hearing for the rest of this session, we've got to have energy. Without it, we can't do a thing. All the inventions, all the brilliance in the world without electricity right now, until there's some substitute, we got to have plenty of it. So we have to see that we have plenty here, and that is why we determined, as has been described some years ago, that we could be sure to move in the right direction, and that is smack dab in the middle of nuclear power. There are other things, but that is the best opportunity we have, not only for great prosperity, but also for our national security. South Carolina is 58% of our power is nuclear, comes from 7 reactors. We're the 40th state in geographic size with 20 million acres, of which we are going to set off from development around half of that, about 10 million. But we are number one in nuclear assets, and we are number one in nuclear promise. And these gentlemen have just outlined all that for you. But we've been taking steps in the government to be sure that we're going to ride that wave and going to lead that way. We spent years preparing for this moment. This is not something that just came around. I think our first reactor was 1971 in Hartsville, I believe. And then, of course, you know about the Savannah River site. But we spent years doing this, and in June of 2023, we created something called the Power SC Working Group. And they began leading the effort to coordinate our state's efforts. If everybody's working in different directions, you don't know what the other guy's doing, you're going to lose a lot of steam, and we're not losing any. Next came South Carolina Nexus for Advanced Resilience Energy Consortium. That was developed by our Department of Commerce. It involved our research universities. By the way, I think the University of South Carolina this year is graduating something like 1,400 engineers. It might be more of that. Clemson's doing the same. South Carolina State has a graduate program as well. But the idea there was to communicate, collaborate, and cooperate among our research universities, technical colleges, state agencies, Savannah River, and all the nonprofits and businesses involved in economic development, which is a lot of business. And speaking of those technical colleges, it was mentioned Wilbur Ross was President Trump's Secretary of Commerce, and he was here a lot during that first administration. And I heard him say myself that South Carolina's got the best technical college system in the entire world. We have 16 of them. They started off back in the 60s, and they have stuck with what they were designed to do. It's not to speak French. It's not to teach English literature, but to teach those skills that are necessary for an ever-evolving, more and more sophisticated work environment. And we're putting hundreds of millions of dollars every year into our technical college system. If you have a plant, if you have a company, if you have a business and you need some workers, all you have to do, if this is a high-demand type of enterprise that you have, all you need to do is contact the technical college system, tell them what kind of training, education you need for your people, and it will be provided for free. I said for free. It is a grand system, and it is mature, it is strong, it goes all over the state, and it is here at the right time for this nuclear work that we're doing. Then came the Department of Commerce. Then an opportunity opened up. The federal government had a program where they wanted to create technical and innovation hubs around the country. Wanted to have 12 of them. Well, there were 400 applications, and what we had to do is say what we wanted to do to create in our hub technical innovations for the future. Well, we picked one thing, power. There were several others around the country, and those 400 that selected power or something about it. But we put all our eggs in that one basket. And I know you'll appreciate this. We had President Emeritus, others from Clemson, others from South Carolina State. We had legislative leaders. We had meetings in Washington. Had one in Congressman Clyburn's office, had one with Senator Graham, Senator Scott, the entire delegation, talking about how our plans were we trying to coalesce to be sure that we were selected, South Carolina selected as one of these brand new technological innovation hubs. And later, we got the word from Secretary Gina Raimondo that we were one of 30. They'd narrowed it down from 400 to 30. Well, we were excited. We were happy. Then came the day that we were to have a phone call with her, a conference call to see if we made the mark. And so Senator Graham was in his office in Washington. Congressman Clyburn was in his office in Washington. I was in mine in Columbia. And we talked, and we explained what we were doing and about how we wanted to be one of those hubs to study and learn about the transmission, how to do it better, how to do it faster, everything involved with it. And she listened. And finally we got to the end, and if y'all know Senator Graham, he cuts up sometimes. So he started joking. We started laughing, and as we were signing off from the phone call, it probably lasted 15 minutes. And at the end, Secretary Raimondo says, "Gentlemen, this is highly unusual." She says, "This is the first time since I've been in this office that I have had a bipartisan conference." Well, a few days later, we got the word. We were one of the 12 with our job to develop things related to power in a lot of detail, and that's $45 million a year. That's what you do when you have people working together across party lines, across differences, emphasizing similarities and having the same goal. That is why I am so convinced and so proud that South Carolina is going to be leading this effort. And as we were doing that, then here came President Trump in May 23 of 2025 with his executive orders, and then came the one big, beautiful bill. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are today. So as the great coach said, the worst thing in the whole world to do would be to drop, to fumble the football. Well, we are standing right at this door, right at this threshold. We in this room right now, and others that'll come along, we have all the assets, we have the people, we have the skills, we have the research universities, we have the climate, we have the location. Most of all, as I say, we've got the people. All we need to do is to think big. The man said, "I'd rather aim high and fail than aim low and succeed." But we are going for the top. So I want to thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay. I hope you bring others. And I'd like to add my welcome to you for the launch of the nuclear renaissance in America. Thank you very much.